How's it going, crypto community? I am going to be creating a video today that I think is going to, well, it's my attempt at least, to answer a question a lot of people have had. A lot of people. And that's the question that is the title of this video, right? Who is Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious creator of Bitcoin? That fictional magical internet money that so many people have become fabulously wealthy as a part of due to their investment into and belief in. So we're going to start with this deep dive, just informing a lot of people who are new to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general of this mysterious individual, this mysterious figure, Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, obviously, this is not the individual's true name. It's an alias. Thus why we were never able to get a picture of him. If it was his real name, then, when you type in Satoshi Nakamoto, you'd come up with a list of a bunch of people and their birthday, and after 10 years, somebody would have figured out which one it was due to a process of elimination. Well, it doesn't work because, again, he was an anonymous individual who developed Bitcoin independently. He was the sole creator of this protocol system that has created functional internet money. So I'm not going to go over the identity and the development of Bitcoin. Instead, I'm going to jump down here and list off a few possible identities. Name individuals who have been brought up in the past and attributed to potentially being Satoshi Nakamoto. First, there was Hal Finney. Hal Finney was a pre-Bitcoin cryptographer pioneer and the first person other than Nakamoto himself to use the software, file bug reports, and make improvements. He also lived a few blocks down from Dorian Nakamoto's family home, according to Forbes journalist Andy Greenberg. So Greenberg asked the writing analyst consultancy, Yulia and Associates, to compare a sample of Finney's writings to Satoshi Nakamoto's, and they found that it was the closest resemblance they had yet come across. Now again, this was back when they had done this, and according to this, that was citation 26, so that would have been in 2014 is when this, Hal was supposed to potentially be, right? Obviously, that never panned out. Nobody knows. Next person was Nick Szabo. Nick Szabo. There we go. I think that was right. Last time was a charm, right? So at any rate, in 2013, a blogger named Sky Gray linked Nick to the Bitcoin white paper using an approach he called stylometric analysis. Szabo is a decentralized currency enthusiast and published a paper on BitGold, which was one of the precursors of Bitcoin. He is known to have been interested in using pseudonyms in the 1990s, and in May 2011, article Szabo, I don't know why I keep messing that up, but Szabo stated about the Bitcoin creator, myself, Wide, and Hal Finney were the only people I know of who liked the idea, or in DAI's case, or his related idea, enough to pursue it to any significant extent until Nakamoto, assuming Nakamoto is not really Finney or Dai. So the other person obviously is Dai or Dorian Nakamoto. And then, of course, in recent news, we've had Craig Wright come out. Now, many of you know Craig Wright. Most nobody actually believes that Craig Wright is Satoshi, and that's by and large due to the fact that his behavior and character is in complete contrast to the ideologies inherent in the Bitcoin network and the principles upon which Satoshi founded the network, and his desire to stay anonymous to ensure that no one person could attack the network. It couldn't, he couldn't be targeted. Therefore, nobody could ever bring Bitcoin down. Was his essentially the ideology that a lot of people believe is why he is anonymous. He was never, he wasn't really truly ever clear with us why he was anonymous. Just, there's a number of options. So obviously, there have been tons of other candidates claimed, from somebody named, I thought it was Joshua here, but a sociologist named Dr. Willy Ledonvirta. Okay, that was a crazy one. That's like a I want to say a Russian or Ukrainian, that Eastern European kind of name. I don't know. It was apparently an Irish. Michael Clear. So, including the Finnish opponents. Okay, so yeah, could have been that guy, or it could have been an Irish student named Michael Clear. It could have been Ted Nelson. It could have been Gavin Anderson, Jeb McCaleb, or a governing agency as possible candidates to be Nakamoto, right? So there's everybody under the sun has basically been called Satoshi. But what's really interesting is the person, to me, most likely to be Satoshi Nakamoto isn't included on here. But technically speaking, he is the one who created the very first blockchain ever. Now, to me, I don't care if Bitcoin is what the social masses say to be the first, because it wasn't. There were precursors to Bitcoin. They just didn't get popular. They didn't get adopted. So what I am going to show you now is the person who created blockchain, who invented it, aka the real world Satoshi Nakamoto, regardless of whether or not he was the actual creator of the Bitcoin blockchain or not. He created the technology that this Satoshi Nakamoto, if it's not this person, used. And who's that person? Well, many people already know who I'm about to share with you. But to those who don't know, that would be David Schwartz, aka Joel Katz. Now, David Schwartz here is confirming a request from somebody asking, "Hey, David, I have a question for you. Is this your patent true?" And Joel says, "Yes, the patent was mine. DSE was my company." So what is the patent for? Well, when you go over to the Reddit post, you'll see links to multiple sources for this patent. And that patent is for a multi-level distributed computer system for distributing processing, preferably includes a plurality of personal computers. A task inputted to the system is divided into a plurality of portions. As many of the portions as possible are distributed for processing on the lowest level of the system. AKA, this is an article from a patent David Schwartz created for his intellectual property when? August 25th, 1988. Over 20 years before Bitcoin was even a thing. Before Bitcoin.com, the website, was even a thing. And yes, for those of you who don't know, Bitcoin.com actually predates the Bitcoin Ledger. Weird, right? Bitcoin came out in 2010. Bitcoin.com actually was created in 2008. Interesting. There's all kinds of oddities when you go back in history and look at this system and how it emerged. But this is the most interesting thing to me, is that there is this individual, David Schwartz, Joel Katz, this brilliant genius who, when you look at him and listen to him speak, it is baffling and humbling. I don't care how brilliant somebody might think they are. When you listen to David Schwartz, you will feel like an idiot because the man is that brilliant. He exudes this brilliance, and so it's not. And he lacks arrogance too. I mean, I'm sure he has arrogance to some degree because everybody does. We're human, but if he does possess any kind of degree of arrogance, it is very well under control, and he is openly very humble and very conservative with taking credit for anything. So it is not too hard to reach when considering that this man is almost certainly Satoshi Nakamoto, just based upon the fact that he created this thing. He created the thing that that Bitcoin is. He invented it, again, over 20 years before it was even a thing. And then there's this. This triggered this video for me tonight. And it was Tom B here on Twitter asking whether or not Arthur Brito is actually just Joel Katz, right? Because there's this, you know, there's fun in the XRP community because there's this anonymous figure at Ripple named Arthur Brito, and there's no pictures of the guy. He erased his digital footprint apparently before it getting in Ripple, or maybe he never had a digital footprint. I don't know, but you can't find the guy anywhere. He doesn't exist. So a lot of people have decided that, well, maybe he is just a pseudonym for Joel Katz. Maybe Joel Katz is occupying two positions at Ripple. That'd be weird, but, you know, maybe. Well, Joel, aka David Schwartz, replies, many people have met him, talking about Arthur Brito. He came to a Bay Area ZERPs meetup once, which surprised me, but I'll gladly take credit for his work. We have a different coding and writing style. Look at rippled comments. So the reason that this got me thinking is because Joel Katz is brilliant, as I said. And being the brilliant individual he is, he's aware, and here's something else fun fact about David Schwartz. He is a former NSA operative, agent, or employee, whatever term you would like to apply to it, right? So what I'm getting at is that it is highly likely that this individual has the social intelligence and business sense and understanding of how to manipulate the image of himself that other people see, especially when it was limited exposure for, again, I think it was only 3 years essentially that Satoshi Nakamoto was active. Let me see here. It says here when he handed it off. Let me find it. In October 2018, Nakamoto published his white paper, and where is it here? Sorry. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I literally just read it off of this page before I came here, and now it disappeared in front of my eyes, right? Maybe I need to go over to the Bitcoin page. Maybe it was on Bitcoin. No. What? Oh, okay, here it is. I'm sorry. Mid-2008. So he only worked on this, he was only around for 2 years, and then he vanishes. Now, what this says to me is that if you're only active, have a presence online for 2 years, and you can limit the posts that you're going to create over those 2 years to less than 200 engagements, well, you can be really methodical about how you write to ensure that you're not implicating yourself. You can intentionally change your style of writing and coding because it's not that hard. It's if you understand that people are going to look for this kind of thing, you can intentionally fabricate it, right? It's like the old, you know, thing that went in court about the glove don't fit, right? Everybody knows who I'm talking about with that. I'm not gonna say anything else because, you know, I mean, did he kill that chick? The glove don't fit, right? Understand that there are brilliant people out there who understand how to get away with having something pinned to them, especially if they don't want it to be. And if David Schwartz doesn't want to be identified as Satoshi Nakamoto, even if he is, he, being the brilliant man he is, would have had the foresight to ensure that he is not presenting himself in a way that he would present his real self. So that whenever he moves away from the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto, he can be himself again, encode by his own means, which would allow him to make the claim down the road that should anybody actually assume that he is Satoshi Nakamoto, if anybody should ever get close enough to pinning him as Satoshi Nakamoto, he'd be able to say exactly what he said in regards to being Arthur Brito, right? Oops, wrong tweet. We have different coding and writing styles. Just look at the Rippled comments, right? Now, this is speculation. This is fun. But, you know, it really bothers me that Joel Katz isn't included over here as, you know, being among the potential individuals to be Satoshi. I mean, Jeb McCaleb is listed here, and we don't have Joel Katz listed. We don't have David Schwartz. There is more evidence that would imply that David Schwartz is Satoshi than Jeb McCaleb. So, yeah, very interesting that he's not even included in the honorable mentions, the other claimed candidates, right? Well, at any rate, this is all that I really have to go off of. A patent from him being the original creator of blockchain technology, and a really deep gut feeling based upon how brilliant the man is that he could absolutely deceive some people for a few years if he wanted to make them and create a totally false persona to push an ideology out and to ensure that it is as detached from his identity as possible through every means necessary of identifying him. And again, the man worked for the NSA. So if anybody's going to know how to, you know, not get identified, it's going to be somebody that worked for the NSA. That's all I'm saying. So, take it or leave it. Is this who you think Satoshi Nakamoto is? Do you believe me? Do you buy my conspiracy theory that David Schwartz is Satoshi Nakamoto? Tell me in the comment section below. Hit the like if you agree. Hit the dislike if you disagree. Oh man, this is going to be a scary video if people actually watch to the end and are like, oh, I disagree. Bah. Well, oh well. Interactions are interactions, and I thank you all for your interactions. If this is your first video of mine watching, please be sure to hit that subscribe and ring that bell if you want to learn more about the cryptocurrency ecosystem. I try to create at least 2 or 3 videos every single day, and if not, I do at least a live stream where I go and I answer everybody's questions. So if you're new to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, please feel free to stop in and ask me any questions you have. We can be a little bit hostile sometimes towards newcomers because there's a lot of trolls in our community. So just be polite with whatever questions you do ask, because sometimes people will come at you if they think that you're just being a troll. So with all that said and done, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see all of you in my next video. Until next time, this has been Jade, the XRP Martian, and I'll see all of you in my next video on Mars.